So Trump is saying that everyone's going to get a lot of money. Basically, he's meaning American people are going to see a lot of money come back into the country from tariffs. Real tariff revenue is starting to come in August 1st. And he's saying that the revenue from these tariffs will be so substantial, we can most likely eliminate the IRS. Listen to this.
And yeah, I have a real shot. We're taking in tremendous amounts of money. You saw that we had a $25 billion surplus last month.
Yeah.
And the tariffs haven't really started by comparison to what they will be. You know, we're doing them on cars right now, cars and steel mostly. But the other ones kick in on August 1st, and they're very substantial. And the answer is, yeah, I think there's a real shot. I actually say there's a shot at, you know, we have the Internal Revenue Service. We could use the External Revenue Service, and we wouldn't even need the Internal Revenue Service. But the money is very substantial. It's hundreds of billions of dollars.
So when you look at the U.S. federal tax revenue at $5 trillion and the U.S. federal spending at over $7 trillion, that's a $2 trillion deficit to make up. And the Doge clock isn't doing that. It only has $559 billion. So tariffs need to make up for a lot. And if the government were to do something like stimulus again, that would just further boost the U.S. national debt, further devaluing the dollar, and be even more bullish for the crypto market and bearish for those who just save dollars. So this week is crypto week, and here's these 3 crypto bills explained by Tom Emmer.
Well, there are 3 bills that we're going to be addressing today. One is a dollar-backed stablecoin bill called the Genius Act that came out of the Senate. This is a bill that literally is about exporting U.S. dollars all around the world. It may not be as big domestically to start with, although I think eventually it will be. But think about that cab driver down in Brazil who would love to do business in U.S. dollars, and right now he can't. But with a dollar-backed stablecoin, he'll be able to. This is about exporting U.S. dollars and solidifying the reserve currency status of the U.S. dollar. The other one is called the Clarity Act. This is a market structure bill. The problem we've had with getting new investment into this country is people don't know what regulator they're dealing with. They don't want to spend all kinds of legal fees fighting with the government over whether they're cash and they deal with the Treasury, whether they're a security and they deal with the SEC, or whether they are a commodity and deal with the CFTC. This gives clarity so people understand what they have to do business in this country. And then the last one, which is my bill I've been advocating for probably 5 or 6 years, is a prohibition of a central bank digital currency. Why is that important to our national security, Allison? Because for years, even Republicans years ago were saying, oh, we're falling behind the Chinese. They have the digital yuan. You know what they use that for? That is a surveillance tool. They surveil their citizens. They build social scores based on your purchases, your habits, etc. That is completely against any American value that we know of. And we've got to prevent our central government from ever creating this surveillance tool here in the United States of America. Very important bills.
So we're living in a society where we have the White House posting bald eagles with money falling everywhere, playing a Lil Wayne song, I Make It Rain. So I don't know who's behind this account. Maybe it's Barron Trump, but I like whoever's doing the marketing for the White House. And whoever's behind that QAnon account that posted back in 2018, well, conspiracy theorists have been linking it to Make It Rain post right here. And Butt Cheeks said there will be no golden age without a wealth transfer back to hardworking people that were torn from the middle class during COVID. Golden age equals a strong middle class. No golden age is the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And so how did the rich get richer? Well, they invest into assets and industries that outpace inflation, and that's the crypto industry. Real estate's another one of those industries. However, the golden age for real estate was back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, whereas now is not the time to be in real estate. Now's the time to be in crypto. Look at Google Trends right here. We are at 36 out of 100 from 2004 till present. We're not even close to the levels that we were at in May of 2021 or even December of 2024. So we're just starting to see the tip of the iceberg for what's going to be happening over the next few months for altcoins. And in my video one day ago, I talked about Bitcoin's pullback, and based on the divergence for many indicators, with 5 bullish divergences flashing here, the likely case scenario for Bitcoin was to range and then break out higher. And this is when Bitcoin was at $116,000. So roughly right around here. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin's broken out a little bit higher, and it's just ranging right now in this bull flag, forming lower highs and lower lows. Similar to what happened for Total 2 right here from April to where we are right now, where I pointed this out in another video where we formed lower highs and lower lows in this bull flag before breaking to the upside. So I think what's coming next for Bitcoin is inevitable break to the upside. Now, whether we have a final low down here and then we break to the upside, or we start breaking to the upside right now, doesn't matter to me. Another dip for Bitcoin would just be another buying opportunity for the people that are still accumulating Bitcoin. But when you stick to the end of this video, you're going to see why altcoins are more bullish based on Bitcoin's dominance. So with this recent move in total two right here from about $1.1 trillion to $1.4 trillion, that move for Bitcoin would bring it back into the $120,000 region. Similar to how total two is rallying back up to the previous high of December of 2024, where Google Trends was up here at 53 out of 100. So right now, we're only at 36 out of 100 in terms of interest. So retail is just starting to come back into the market. And if you look at the stochastic RSI and the relative strength index for Bitcoin's price chart, you can see on the stochastic, we're at 83 and 79 for the D line and the K line. Well, when we were at those levels for total two, we were right here and also right up here. So that's why I say Bitcoin could either have another sell-off or we just start breaking out, because this is where we're at in the price chart for total two for both of those moments on the stochastic RSI. So we'll just have to wait and see if Bitcoin's ready to break out now or if we just consolidate a little bit longer in this bull flag. But nonetheless, the future's looking bright and the inevitable cannot be stopped for what's coming, which is alt season. And when we look at the relative strength index for Bitcoin, it's at 51, the middle of a range, similar to where we're at right here or right here for total two back in June last month or earlier this month before total two broke out. And when we just look at the total two price chart with the 50 and the 200 SMA, we can see that a golden cross is taking place right now. And the last time this happened, we pumped 72% to the upside for that December high, which was this rally right here that pushed us past the high from March of 2024. And so if we see something similar and total two breaks out past the December high, well, then we would be rallying upwards of potentially $2 trillion, maybe $3 trillion. We'll see how high that pushes the altcoin market. Definitely one of them. I've been saying this for years. And as you can see here, XRP is up since the 22nd of June, over 70+%. So market cap doesn't really matter. It's all about liquidity and volume that comes in a matter of 24 hours, 48 hours, even a week or a month. As you see in 1 month, 71% is massive. And we're just getting started. We're right back here at the all-time high for XRP, and we can make an all-time high any day now for XRP. I was expecting for XRP to range a little bit longer, but this just shows how bullish institutions in whales are on this project right here because of the expectations for the SEC lawsuit being dropped, XRP ETFs, Ripple's bank, these three bills, global liquidity, you name it. So if XRP pushes to an all-time high, there most likely will be some type of consolidation at some point because we don't just go up forever, as you guys can see, like right here during these aggressive breakouts, right here during these aggressive breakouts. At some point, there's some type of pullback taking place, which allows for a reset on these major indicators like the relative strength index, because when we were overbought right here at like 94 in December, we pulled back 30+% and the RSI came back closer to 50 while the stochastic reset all the way here below 20 as well too. So right now we're at 95 and 94. So although a lot of people are getting bullish about XRP, I'm actually getting a little bearish right now because the relative strength index is at 86, getting closer and closer to 90. So we're in overbought conditions on the daily right now for XRP. So there should be an aggressive pullback at some point, and we'll just see when that takes place, whether it takes place now or we push up to like $3.80, $4, maybe $5. We'll see how aggressive this move is. Then there would be a major pullback and consolidation, which would allow for the stochastic RSI to reset back below 20 and the relative strength index to come back down closer to 50 or potentially below 50. So it doesn't matter what's happening on the price chart. That's why you guys want to look for confluence on these key indicators like this. Because if you're just buying into strength right here, and you're also buying into a resistance, that's how you get wrecked. Sure, if you buy in right now and XRP pushes higher, well then, congratulations, you're just getting lucky. You're not actually using a strategy there. You're using your emotions to buy because it's breaking out and you don't want to miss out. That's FOMO, fear of missing out. So here's what's happening right now. BlackRock just bought $500 million worth of Ethereum. They're going to be blaring Ethereum as the greatest investment in all of finance on their own social media here soon. As Alex Becker says the game's over, this will be the biggest bull run in history. And a former Goldman Sachs analyst, Dom Kwan, made a prediction at the beginning of the year that XRP would overtake Ethereum as the second most valuable cryptocurrency, reclaiming its rightful spot. Because back in the 2017 bull run, for you OGs watching the channel, you guys know that XRP was actually number 2 behind Bitcoin during that insane rally above $3. And importantly to note, XRP's market cap of $166 billion would need to increase by only 125% to match Ethereum's market value of $374 billion. So right now Ethereum's market cap is $412 billion and XRP's is $194 billion. That's just a little above a 2x for market cap for XRP, which actually isn't that much money, as you guys can see what can happen in 7 days with 31% rally for XRP. XRP could flip Ethereum in like a week or less. It's just a matter of how much liquidity flows in. It's kind of like what happened with Ethereum versus Bitcoin, with Bitcoin pulling back and Ethereum pumping. It's just a liquidity rotation. And this article right here making this prediction from the former Goldman Sachs analyst, February 3rd, is saying that regulatory changes would be the tailwind for XRP. Because under former SEC Chair Gary Gensler, he was waging war against the cryptocurrency industry. Not just the industry, Ripple and XRP. So all attention right now is on XRP with this lawsuit finally being finished and a comprehensive and clear regulatory framework for crypto assets, which the House has been voting on this week. So